Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Chaotic Neutral Podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Caleb, and I am joined tonight by Shane.
Howdy ho. I don't always play D&D, but when I do, I play Bert the Warlock.
And Dan.
Hi, I play Zerf, the Barbarian.
And Amy.
Hi, I play Kiki the Rogue.
And David.
Kai here. Play monk.
All right. So last time, our adventurers were traveling through a secret passage in a mountain, trying to avoid a giant army that they're pretty sure is hostile to them. And they encountered some snake people, and they killed those snake people. After murdering these snake people in their homes, they wandered through the snake people city, the city of the snake people, and they discovered some of the history of these people, and were watched by cowering snake person mothers and children, terrified of these avenging gods moving through their territory. And at the end of it, they came out over a large encampment of curiously quiet soldiers. And when Kai let out a quick outburst of joy at seeing the sun, they all sort of started looking around in unison before falling back into the daze they were in before his outburst. And that's where we left off. So what do you guys do?
I remember I wrote down one thing from last time. The Slithering God. Do I know what that is? It felt familiar. The eldritch energy that happened before the battle started.
Roll me a intelligence. No.
Arcana?
Yeah, Arcana.
Please? Okay. Yeah, please! Can I get an 18?
You can. You're pretty sure that this, based on the frescoes and sort of their story of what had happened that you pieced together from them, this race did fall under the corruptive influence of...
It scared the shit out of me. Sitting here waiting with bated breath.
What happened?
You?
No, did I really do that?
Yeah. At the exact correct time, too.
So yes, they're under the influence of Yog-Sothoth. Which you think is to the east from this peak.
Guys, I know where we need to go.
You do.
And so you guys are on the sort of lower slope of this mountain, and there's this army spread out below you.
How
You're
big
sort
is
of on...
this army?
It's massive. It to the south, it seems to stretch. It stretches as far as you can see across this plain, and it stretched that far even when you were up on top of the mountain. It's massive. It's the biggest army any of you have ever seen. And like even now on the edge of it, it's going to take a bit of a. It's going to take a bit to either infiltrate it or get around it, because even its wings are as large as a normal army.
Let's dress up as... Sorry.
What was that?
Oh, this is Lord of the Rings reference. Let's dress up as little... what they're dressed up in.
Oh, let's mug a couple of them. Take their shit.
That actually is a legitimate option you could try.
Well, they didn't seem too interested in us. I mean, they noticed us and then they just went back to sleep or whatever. Can I roll an Arcana on that? Can I see if if we walk up to them, get any closer?
What do you want to do?
Will they?
Yeah.
get
So
hostile?
you go and roll your Arcana. Everyone, roll me perceptions.
Oh,
That's another 18.
Okay.
17.
22.
Zerf probably doesn't notice it because of his own aroma, but you guys notice that there is a smell that is wafting up to you from this army. And it's not a pleasant smell. It's a smell of rotting flesh, of decay, of
Undead
mold.
army?
And Shane, you're pretty sure that those soldiers were all being directed by a single consciousness when they were looking around.
Ruh-roh.
And actually, with the 22, Kiki,
Mm-hmm.
by now you've seen several undead. You've seen zombies. You've seen the skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
What's really weird about these ones is usually the undead are sort of in tattered rags. If they're skeletons, the armor is sort of rusted and dented. A lot of these, they look like they're in brand new equipment. You know, gleaming shields and mail. You know, bright swords. Lots of gold and silver, like, filigree and detail work. Like these were. This is new equipment. These aren't
That's weird.
corpses that were raised out of a long forgotten crypt.
Mm-hmm.
So which way, if we go east, will that take us like right through the army?
You are on the lower western slope of the mountain, so you would need to navigate, and it seems like this army is spread out around the mountain, and you get the sense that their original intention was to send a large contingent of it through that Stargate.
Ah. So we need. I guess we just need to move around the base of the mountain.
We need a large
But
explosion.
we need to bring attention to ourselves immediately. In a big way. Zerf, run through that army and kill as many as you can.
Just run with my arms open and
Just with your axes out, just going for throats.
Hey, Amy,
No,
Yeah.
that's bad.
can I get a high or low?
In my favor?
It's not
Low.
really about you. Low?
Wow, low.
Okay. Shane, you hear. No one else seems to hear this, but you hear distinct. It is not yet time to confront him. You are not ready to face Sothoth.
I was like, no.
That like
shit, I'm
instant
level 4.
erection.
Fight a god. Or talk to one. Can I do an insight on that
Yeah.
to see who that was from? Never mind. It was an 8.
All right. David. High-low.
Hi.
It's really confusing, Shane, because you think that it's actually the source of that is you and the book. Like, it's you through the book.
So the god I used to be is telling me, don't do this yet, through a book. Gotcha. That's not at all confusing.
Hey, you're the one that decided to roll a
Eldritch
Lovecraftian warlock.
Okay, I didn't take into account that I don't have the brain power to really understand anything that he wrote. I'm not even writing anything down. Screw that. I'm just going to pretend nothing happened. Wipe from my memory. It's like, hey guys, let's go anywhere but east. let's go back in that tunnel and kill some snake kids. Oh, can I?
That doesn't
I don't
sound
know
like
if I
a
can
good
roll
idea.
again. Can I? Do I know if I were to walk up to that army, if any of us were to walk up to that army, getting close to them, would they be hostile? Did I already roll that and screw it up?
Would my smell throw them off?
What's your smell?
No, I
What,
think
That guy doesn't stink like we do. Get him!
you rolled an 18 on the Arcana.
Yeah.
That's good enough for you to figure out that it doesn't seem like you get the sense that it's kind of like the Borg. And listeners, if you don't know who the Borg are, you need to watch Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Please leave.
You don't know who the Borg are. Yeah, just get the fuck out. Seriously.
Resistance is futile, but they're kind of like the Borg, where each individual node doesn't really seem to give a shit about its own surroundings unless the larger consciousness is inhabiting it. And you're pretty sure, like, you guys are sort of standing there pretty openly on this shelf. I get the sense that when you saw them start looking around, you sort of ducked down, and then when you saw them go back to normal, you stood back up. And nothing seems to be happening. So you think that there must be eyes and ears around, but each soldier or each unit isn't necessarily on the lookout unless they're being directly commanded by whoever's overseeing them.
Do I get the impression that if we were to walk up and take gear, that they would stop us in a violent or non-violent way?
They would meow at us.
You,
They would. They'd say, "Where's the nip?"
the Overlord Elwood would say, "Meow," and then they would all cuddle you and try to smother you with their fur. No, you get the sense that as long as you don't alert whatever the sensory thing is, that you can kind of get away with whatever. And based on the location where you are in the army, it doesn't look like there are that many. Like, you're not out on the boundary of the army, so you get the sense that there aren't lots of pickets here. It's just sort of a general sense. You think if you guys are careful, you could probably steal gear and.
Okay, so I walk up to Kiki and I lean down and I take a knee.
Which brings you to eye level.
Yeah. And I put my hand on her shoulder and I say, "Listen, I'm being super serial right now. I think it'd be a really bad idea if you were to sneak into that camp and maybe steal me some leather armor. I think it'd be a really bad idea."
Okay.
Now,
Like, just don't do it.
out of curiosity, what point does Kiki realize that people are manipulating her?
Do I have to roll something for that, like a deception?
I don't feel like I do. It's a flaw. Like, I'm just flawed.
But like at this point, you as a person know that
If it's a plan, it's sort of one of those things where we've made the plan. He's like, don't do this, and I've forgotten that, or I just don't care and I go and do it.
okay.
I don't know. I can't
Because
tell
to me,
if I
at
can
what
sit
point-
down and just.
At what point does it be where someone makes it a very clear point to come down and say, "Look, I really don't want you to do this"? Does that suddenly become, "I want you to do this"? And, you know that that's what they're trying to do. And,
I don't
and at that
know.
point, the negative becomes the plan,
If I'm gonna meta, I was like, "Dude, I want you to go steal me some leather armor. Do whatever you gotta do." Because I just found out I can use that shit.
Oh no.
Oh, see, the light went out and then she disappeared. She did the cat chew through a power cord or something?
I don't know. Maybe your battery died.
Bummer. Why is she using a battery? Shouldn't she be plugging something into the?
She forgets to plug it in sometimes.
Oh. My battery lasts for under an hour on this damn laptop, so I can't forget.
I wouldn't mind getting a laptop just to make it easier to work on podcast shit and write and stuff wherever, but I really like having the monolith here. Even if it's a piece of shit on the inside.
Well, that's what I have in my living room. I inherited this thing. That's the only webcam I have. That's why I'm not doing the David thing, where I'm just like putting that up skirt. Yeah, it's that cleavage. Push them together.
So, World of Warcraft just announced that in their next patch, your character can take selfies. Because
God.
Yeah, because they're adding Twitter integration, so you can tweet from inside the game.
It's not even a game anymore. It's
And
just
so now-
how do you want to spend your free time being the person you are?
And so now you can tweet selfies, and you can. I guess they have all sorts of filters.
Oh my God.
I haven't hopped onto the test run to test it.
I don't understand why that makes me mad.
But what gets me, and what's going to force me to use the stupid feature, is that there's an achievement to take selfies in certain places throughout the world.
Selfie family photos.
So it's like you have to go to all these different places and take selfies in front of the bosses, you know. And if you do it, you get a toy.
Oh my God. I'm reminded. I'm sorry, another tangent. I'm reminded of the time I was playing Skyrim. I had just rescued this vampire chick from some crypt. I don't know what the hell I was doing. I fell into this thing, and I was there. And she asked me, take me to my dad, because I don't know where I am anymore. I was like, all right, fine. I'm probably not going to get any kind of reward for this, so I'm going to keep you in my stead, and you're going to fight for me. So we do this for a little while. I do some companion stuff, and I get to the mission where Kodlak dies, and we go to the funeral pyre that they have set up in the Skyforge, and everybody's around. It's a solemn event. Everybody's chanting or whatever. You ever have that moment where you're playing a game and like just the immersion is destroyed? You're not playing a game anymore. You look at yourself and you're like, I am wasting so much time doing absolutely nothing. This bitch, she's standing behind me during this funeral pyre, and she's just like, well, better get to work. And she just walks up to the bellows and starts puffing fire and hammering iron during the entire ceremony. I'm like, you fucking bitch. And I'm not even mad at the game anymore. I'm like disappointed in myself. I'm like, where the fuck did my life go off the rails? Why am I playing this game so much right now? I'm 32 years old. It was like getting caught masturbating. You know? You're embarrassed, and you're like reflecting upon yourself. Like, God, how the hell did it come to this?
I think I found the outtake. I'm just gonna do the it's like being caught masturbating, and I'm gonna just put that at the end of the outro music. Okay, so everything good, Amy?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what happened? Your light went out, you disappeared? And
Yeah, my cat tried to jump in my lap and missed, and clawed my arm and dug his nails so far into my finger that he punctured it so bad it's just covered in blood, and just like stared at me like, please help me, because he's fat and fuck. Like he's literally a foot away. He could just walk over, but he jumped and missed. And
trying to
used
prove
my
he's a real
hand
cat.
to claw his way up, and it didn't work.
Maybe one of his eyes is going, so he doesn't have any depth
so we had
perception.
some trauma, and I had to deal with it.
I'm sorry.
It's fine now. Let's make this happen.
All right.
I'm so far off the rails, though. I'm not really sure where we're.
What's going on? I don't know.
Bert was.
Keep you long.
Yeah, right. So I know where not to go.
Into the army?
East. In that general area, I think we should stay away from that. Or if we go there, we stay away from anything, like big and just like a ball of tentacles. If we see that, we probably avoid it.
If I call Glyph, would Glyph come here?
Fire went up in the air like a flare.
Roll me. Just roll me a D100.
So I don't know, guys. I have this burning desire to go east.
Shit.
Glyph sort of flickers in front of you, and it's not the clearest. It's not like when was at the peak, where he was this brilliant, almost angelic figure. Now it's just sort of. It's almost like a Star Wars hologram. Oh, you made it to the bottom. Excellent job.
There's a large army in front of us.
There is.
Did he put his fingers together when he said that?
I wish I could. I really do sincerely wish I could help you with that, but I lack a corporeal body. And the superiors are currently, they're working out a way to deal with it, but that's more of a longer-term solution. Unfortunately, that could take years or even, centuries before they come up with a situation that he's suitable. Sorry, Glyph doesn't stutter, but Caleb does. Before the superior reaches a solution that it is happy with.
Who the hell is Glyph?
Is there any way to turn this bracelet into a massive firestorm?
Well, you all have the opportunity to manipulate the elements that you're associated with. From my records, none of you have particularly tried, but the capability is there.
Haven't.
So I can manipulate the Earth to make it look like we're not even here?
Well, theoretically.
I'm not sure what your end game is on that one.
He seems puzzled as to how you would accomplish that, but at the same time, he seems to perk up and he says, "But you were chosen for your innovative skills, and I have no doubt that with proper manipulation of the Earth, you could probably figure out a way to do that."
Do you think
Is
I
there-
could fly
is-
with
is
my
there an
air
open-
bracelet?
Two of you are talking at once.
Sorry.
Let's go with Sheen.
Is it possible to fly with my air bracelet?
With proper manipulation of air currents, that's potentially possible. It would need a degree of control that you probably lack at this point because you haven't been flexing those muscles, so to speak.
Damn.
At the same time, he mentally is talking to David, or to Kai. What'd Kai ask him?
Oh, if he sees any clear path in the east direction.
There is no path east.
No
Further
path east.
information on that subject is not
Oh yeah, you don't like
accessible to you.
directions.
Well, he refers to it. You make him understand what you mean by east, and he says that the complex 2 spin word is there are no paths that way, and that any further information on that region is not accessible.
Okay.
But to counterspin, there are several city-states that are threatened by this army's imminent invasion. Since you destroyed their path through the gateway, that was surely the path they're going to take to subjugate the Mammalian Empire.
What's the closest city-state?
Bide a moment while I research the archives.
Bert, use that wind element.
I just point it towards the army and just hope for the best.
Make it bigger.
There is a garrison several days to counterspin. The nearest city-state is named Brima, which is several days counterspin from there.
Several days. Huh?
Well, we could probably do it.
How do we?
I want to get into that army. I want to get in there and just and present no threat, and just walk into like a quartermaster's tent and just take some shit.
If you could find a way to lessen their strategic reach now, it might behoove you to do so, since it's almost certain that if you're heading to the city-states to counterspin, that you will encounter this army again.
So, okay. During that walkout, was that considered like a short rest?
You guys would have had time to take a breather and get a short rest, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna whisper to y'all in my little slithering mind text, so that hopefully Kiki, like, she gets all, she likes
Really?
it and she remembers it. I'm gonna walk into that army. I'm gonna try to find something. I'll be right back.
When you do that, I scream.
Yeah, when I scream, you come running. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, wait 10 more.
How loud do you scream, David?
A decent decibel level.
Why are you screaming?
He doesn't like it.
Oh, okay. I forgot.
Miraculously, you don't seem to draw any attention from the troops below when you do that.
So I've got a. So, did you understand it, David? Or
Is-
Kai?
Yes, I
Is
understand.
Glyph still around?
But Bert,
What was that?
Is Glyph still around?
Yeah, Glyph's just sort of hovering there, flickering in and out of existence.
What proverbial muscles do we need to flex in order to get practice with these?
Well, you practice. I mean, you might want to start small, lifting, I don't know, rocks and stacking them, or boulders, or trying to create furrows in the earth. It's really up to you how you wish to practice, but I imagine the more you do, the better you will become at it.
Alright, while we're standing here, I'm practicing making trenches.
All right. What is your highest mental stat? So that would be intelligence, wisdom, or charisma.
Wisdom or charisma. The same thing, 14.
Okay. Roll me a charisma check.
20.
All right. So you create a series of trenches. Nothing huge, but you definitely cause furrows to appear in the earth, and you can draw shapes and patterns and. So, who's going with Bert into the camp?
Me.
I'll take it.
I'll
Because
stay
I
with
like what
Kai.
you did.
There we go. Found my leash.
Kai?
I follow them.
We're not
Okay.
really splitting the party. I'm just going a little ways in.
Uh-huh. Lee Howe pulls a scarf up over his face and follows.
Hmm.
Do I trip over Zerf's little trenches?
Is that something that you'd be liable to do as a monk
Yes.
with high wisdom and high dex?
Absentmindedly walking.
Falls into a grave.
I don't buy that one.
The trenches
No.
were off to the side
No.
where no one was going.
It wouldn't make sense. Wisdom means you're perceptive, even if you're not really
Okay.
paying attention. And Dex means that even if you were to trip, you could catch yourself.
Okay.
You're not going to stick your foot in a wastebasket and tumble head over heel down the slope into a tent with the general to go, uh-oh.
Just trying to make it interesting.
What? Here we go again. Oh, it looks like Kai, Kiki, and the boys got themselves in a peck of trouble. Tune back this week to find out how they get out of that mess. All right, so let me go ahead and get stealth checks from everyone going into the camp.
Okay.
Are there any trees around?
No.
Nope.
Actually, you notice there aren't really any tents either. Oh, how did Kiki get an 8?
18.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't
10.
have it macroed.
And Bert?
I got a 9.
Okay, so Kiki is super stealthy. She's like low to the ground, crouching along, making sure that she's avoiding, any patrols. Zerf is doing much of the same. He's spent some time in the wilderness. He knows how to move quietly. Kai is just sort of walking along. Lee House tiptoeing in Scooby-Doo fashion. But Zerf, or not Zerf, sorry, Bert West, he could give a fuck.
I put the wastebasket on my own foot and I started clomping around.
He figures the best way to avoid getting spotted by anyone is just act like you belong there, and so he struts in, head high, shoulders back, walking along like he owns the place. So none of the soldiers around you seem to respond. Now that you're up close, you notice that most of them only seem to be about a few weeks rotted. Like they were killed and then freshly reanimated. And it wasn't, again, you don't get the sense that these were a mass grave that was raised. This was people were killed and then raised by some necromancer. You notice that there are no tents. There are tents spaced sort of strategically throughout. Then there is a tent sort of in the middle of this regiment of troops. Do you guys approach it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone roll me perceptions as you approach it.
22.
11.
Okay. Kiki and Kai both hear a muffled conversation from within the tent. They hear one person who seems very subservient, and he almost seems to be listening in to a higher level conversation. One of them is a voice that you remember from, Kai remembers it from Shahua Manor, praising Lord and Lady Shahua for subduing Saldoon and Bert and Kai. Everyone else remembers this voice from telling that mage to open the gate just before they killed the mage. He is saying that plans have to be changed. The fools managed to both open the gate and eliminate our ability to use it. They're here. Find them. I will be destabilizing the city-states to the west. Make sure that the conquest goes smoothly. And you hear another voice go, "They will know death. Yes, know it well." And another voice saying,
Oh yeah, we will bring the pain upon those cities. They will know the fury of our master.
And I care not, fools. Just get it done. And the conversation ends, and you sort of hear whoever was listening in on that muttering to himself that soon he'll replace those madmen and lead this army. He'll control the whole thing rather than just a stupid regiment of shock troops.
I really want to walk in there and meet him. But I think that would end the game.
So the tent is occupied.
I'm. Stop.
I set the tent on fire.
Holy shit. If you do that, then I cast Expeditious Retreat, I grab Kiki, and I run the other way.
David, roll me. How are you setting the tent on fire?
Just trying to spark something.
Okay.
Two rocks together.
No.
Are you trained in survival?
Yes. Well, no, no.
Okay. Are you trained in Arcana?
No.
Okay, then just roll me a quick intelligence check.
Okay.
I thought Kiki was bad.
12.
Okay. You can't seem to figure out how to get a spark going.
Thank God. I'm still running. I've got Kiki in my arms. I'm whispering. It's like, don't worry. We're gonna get out of here. Fuck the armor.
I'm just messing around with my bracelet.
Oh, I forgot about that. So you're trying to use your bracelet to do it?
Yeah.
Roll me a wisdom.
Okay. 21.
So I'm sorry. Retcon. You go. Oh no! And Shane, high or low in David's favor.
Damn it.
What is wrong with you, boy?
Hi. Oh shit.
The tent burns down, and you see a tiefling. Not the tiefling that you guys have encountered. In sort of weird purple and black robes with like swirling tentacle designs on them, with several runes in front of him that anyone trained in Arcana can identify those as the runes that allowed him to do these communications. And the tent's burned down around him, and he's sort of batting flames out. And he looks up, and he sees you. And he's a low-level official. And he bucks it towards the center of camp. What do you guys do?
Ah, shit. I guess I have to stop running. And
He seems to have panicked, because you know that
I chase after him.
he should be able to command the troops around you.
I guess I...
And it seems like he's forgotten that he can do that.
Am I close enough before he starts running
Fire
to
one
take a swipe at his legs or whatever?
Yeah, I guess I'll give everyone a surprise round. So we'll start with David. Your surprise round is burning the tent down. So
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just go across the bottom of my screen. Zerf, if you want to get an attack in on him, go ahead.
A 10 and a 21.
Well, I know the 21's gonna hit.
Yeah.
The 10 will not. So roll me damage.
I still raging, or has it been long?
Basically, at the end of each rage lasts for a minute.
Okay. So 8.
Okay.
And I'm aiming for his legs.
Okay.
That makes a difference.
We'll say that you can do half damage and slow him. Basically, like, cut his Achilles.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do 4 to him, and he's hobbled. Moving on over to Bert.
Okay. We come to a screeching halt, and I fire one off behind me towards him.
All right.
And I'm going to hex him at the same time.
Okay.
17 versus AC. Okay. And then I get... I need to roll the D10, dumbass. So, 11 damage.
Okay. He looks wounded, but he's still struggling along. Kiki.
So I think what Kai did was super cool, and I really want to try out my bracers.
Okay.
So can I do that?
What are you going to do with them?
I'm water. I want to like douse him with water, like water from the sky, like a bucket of water just hits him.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I think it would be cool.
Would you be able to, like, take the moisture from the ground and, like, arc it up into spikes or something?
No, I have no idea.
Because that's you get the sense that they can't create whatever it is; they can only manipulate what's there. That David was using the static in the air to.
So I would
Fill his
take
lungs with
the
water from
moisture
the
in his body
The
and
moisture-
All
Blow
right.
him up.
What's your highest stat of intelligence, wisdom, and charisma?
intelligence or wisdom are both 18.
Okay. Roll me intelligence.
That's
Good
a
lord.
19 on the die.
Okay. Roll me. We'll say a D10 plus intelligence damage. So 10 damage?
10. Yeah.
Yeah, so you you sort of stick out your bracer and like make your hand into a fist, and you can see water sort of form in a mist around him, and then come to your hand and form like a globe of water in front of it. And you notice that he is looking like a desiccated husk. He's still lurching along, but he seems in incredible agony and barely there.
Yeah, I want to drop that. That's gross. I don't want to hold on to that.
It's
You want to drink his essence?
it's technically distilled, but you know whatever.
I don't want that.
Okay, David.
That was gross, Kiki.
That's coming from the warlock.
I go and, I don't know, tackle him, I guess.
All right, roll me an attack.
That would be a 15.
You hit. So you're knocking him prone.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to use flurry of blows to hit him at all, or?
No. Or do I need to?
It's up to you. Like, I don't know if you want to do damage to him or if you're just trying to stop him from running.
Knock him out.
I'm just trying to stop him from running.
Okay. So you tackle him to the ground.
Stop resisting.
Zerf.
I'm gonna try and chop his head off.
All right. Roll me an attack. Or
God.
your attacks, plural.
Brutal.
26, 25,
Both hit.
10, and 10.
you chop his head off, and his desiccated, mummified head almost mummified head. And as that happens, you notice a surge seem to go through the undead around you.
Oh shit.
And they all sort of seem to activate and start marching towards the west. Where they meet you, they part around you. What do you guys do?
Way to go, David.
Back at the,
Go get those runes.
Yeah,
back
I
at
want
the
those,
tent.
robes.
Yeah, like, can I just, like, grab one and take his clothes?
Yeah. The one of the undead?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just roll me a quick sleight of hand to see how quickly you're able to do that.
18.
I go back to the tent. Just
What's left of the
what's
table?
left is
So Kiki, it takes you only a round or two, but you're able to remove all the armor from this one zombie, and he continues shambling along in formation still. David, back at the tent, well, at the remains of the tent, what are you looking for?
just anything that looks out of the ordinary.
It seems this guy was pretty low on the totem pole. He had a cot, and he had the circles drawn in the dirt that seemed to be where he got his orders from higher up.
Okay.
Everyone roll me perceptions.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Wow.
22.
Dan,
Natural
you
20.
notice several skeletal birds seem to fly up into view from the south, and they're circling above overhead as if looking for something.
I manipulate the earth so they cannot see us. Like we're hide us basically.
How do you do that?
I guess I build a cave around us, or try to, or something like that.
Okay, roll me a wisdom.
Nope.
You get a ring of earth to sort of rock to come up through the soil around you, but it only gets up to about knee high all around you guys.
I go grab a uniform off the zombie and put it on.
Yeah, I grabbed the robes off the little. Wait, was the teeping small? Like really small?
No, this was a normal sized one.
Okay, I take his robes.
Okay.
I put those on.
I rolled a 9.
Okay, it takes you a couple rounds. Everyone who's trying to disguise themselves, go ahead and roll me deception checks.
That is in my wheelhouse, sir.
I'm an actor.
11.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you get... Oh, good.
19.
Kai pulls it off barely. Kiki and Bert both manage to just fit right into the regiment. Like they match the thriller,
Stand on my tiptoes.
movements. Dan, was that 7 your deception?
No. 13 was my deception.
Okay, are you trying to blend in?
I pretty much already do with my clothes and armor, but yeah, I'll try and blend in, I guess.
Okay. You do a little bit better than Kai, who.
I don't wear clothes. What are you talking about?
Just naked with a stick.
Well, but Kai, I thought you said you took armor to try to blend in.
I did.
Okay, yeah. So the thing is
I don't
that
wear armor.
you're not
Oh yeah.
matching the movements very well. Like, you can't quite get that zombie lurch. Yeah. You're doing more skeleton, and it really should be zombie.
Okay.
Whereas Zerf's doing mummy, which is close to zombie, but not quite. And are you guys going to try to march with the army, or are you going to try to slowly drift so that you're no longer with it?
I think we should drift so we're no longer with it. I don't want to. I think we've just unleashed a wave of hell upon some army in the west or some town in the west.
Yeah, they're going
And
west.
I don't really want to be there when that happens because we're not going to stop it. I don't think. How fast are they? Are they just shambling like?
They're zombies. They're shambling at zombie pace.
Let's try to separate ourselves from the army, and then I guess head west and try to warn them.
I think we should just try to move our way to the front of the pack.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
Okay. Regardless, let me get one more. We'll do this as a group deception. So whoever's got the highest deception can lead, and then everyone
Okay.
else.
Deception and acting.
So Kiki's probably going to be your best bet to lead this one.
And I've got a +6 on deception too.
16.
I got a 17 for mine.
Yeah, 19 on the roll.
Jeez.
Okay, so you all do pretty well at managing to move through subtly, and wherever you guys sort of fall, or screw it up a little bit, you're able to correct each other, and you manage to make it to the edge of the army, out in the front without any incident, and sort of lose them as they sort of funnel into a pass on the edge of the plain. After you go through the pass, you come down onto another plain. You get the sense that this mountain and this plain you were on was on a plateau, and you've come down into a low valley, and you've entered the Dreadlands proper. This is more what the view to the east looks like, but it sort of gives you a feel for what the Dreadlands are all about.
What's that from?
That's from WildStar. Listeners, the picture I just put up for them on Roll20 is this barren landscape with a sickly green blue sky, stunted trees, what look like ridges made out of some chitin running along the landscape with weird spore bubbles on stems and eyeballs all over the place. The landscape you're traveling through, like I said, isn't this quite this severe. It's more you occasionally see one of these weird chitinous tentacle ridges coming over the landscape. You see the spore stalks sort of sticking out of the soil here and there, and the sky looks almost like it's bruised, sort of a sickly purplish green. You're really disconcerted by walking on the soil. It feels spongy, like you're walking on flesh. I need nature or survival checks. Basically, this is to see if you forage and sort of how well you do traveling through this landscape.
I guess I'll do survival.
15.
You got a 7.
Okay.
Guess I'm not eating tonight.
Oh!
So Dan and David managed to sort of let you guys know, you don't eat this stuff, don't touch this stuff. Let's just get through on the rations we have. Kiki knows better. Kiki doesn't follow the plan, or she ignores it.
She's got an intelligence of 18. She knows everything.
And Kiki decides to sample one of the weird spore plants. And trying to decide how horrible this should be. I'm
Are
just
there
going to say
degrees
that.
of horrible?
Well, yeah.
Because horrible sounds pretty.
Well,
horrible.
Well, the whole thing is that this is a corruptive influence. So I'm trying to decide if Kiki's permanently corrupted by this, or if she's just violently ill for a few days. And Amy's looking at me like she's going to murder me.
Roll a die.
That was my plan, actually.
Flip a coin. Corrupt me more than I already am.
Amy?
Yo.
High or low? In your favor.
Low.
You are violently ill for 2 days. They have to carry you, and it slows you down.
Projectile vomit
Way to go,
do.
Amy.
You do.
on
That's-
Zerf.
Some good shoes.
roll me a dex.
Do you mark off in your little notebook? Revenge had.
Wow, what the fuck? No.
You projectile vomit on everyone but Zerf.
Oh, God. I just got these robes, you little creep.
Sorry.
I
Like-
take off this armor.
like Gurr. Like Gurr.
God.
You guys all smell like I do.
Yay! I'm gonna be sick. So it takes a few days, but you manage to get through the Dreadlands, and you get the sense that you're sort of on the outer edge of it. By the end of the second or third day that you're there, you all are starting to feel really paranoid, that you're constantly being watched, and that the terrain is moving around you to keep you in the same place. And you start to suspect that each of the others is a traitor, and that they're in service of the dark power that's keeping you here. And what else? Oh, and you also start to get the uncontrollable urge to sample the local flora. However, at the end of the fourth day, you manage to make it to another
Like the-
pass. Sorry,
Is it
David.
is it like the mushrooms?
Yeah. For Kai imagines the spore pods are singing a wider shade of pale to him, inviting him to make some spore
Some Chateau Suave.
Drink the swamp water, eat the mushrooms. That was a 10th Kingdom reference for listeners who didn't watch their late 90s miniseries.
Oh, I watched the hell out of that.
Oh, me too.
Oh God, I don't
That
know
chick.
what it was. Yeah, the chick. Yeah, that's
So gorgeous.
exactly. That was like where my short hair fetish came from.
So you guys may get over this pass, and the range isn't like low hills like you went through when you went from the Horned Peak into the Dreadlands proper. It is a range of hills, but along the top of the hills are these giant crystals that extend into the sky. Their tops are lost in cloud, and there's a gap in them that you make for, and the gap is actually there are crystals above it, so it's almost like a door has been carved into this thing. And when you come through the other side, you notice that the influence is way lower. Like there's no tainted flora or fauna. The ground is soil again, and the this other side of this wall, the portal you just came through is carved like a giant gaping mouth. And spread out in a valley below you, it's a steep defile. There's a large fort on a hill in the center of this small valley. And from that fort, walls radiate around so that any path you try to take from this gate to the other side of the valley, which seems to be where you would go elsewhere, you have to pass through no fewer than 6 walls, wall under the view of this central fort. And the area in front of the first 2 walls that form sort of a kill box, an angle, seems to be littered with traps and corpses and all sorts of horrible things. What do you guys do?
Hey, Kiki, did you actually take that armor from that shambling corpse?
She did.
What was it?
No, I don't know.
Was it like leather or?
Yeah.
Oh, is it for you?
I put it on.
Oh, okay,
Size
all right.
too big,
3 sizes.
like a child in her parents' clothing. Yeah.
I'm a busy adult with so many important busy things to do.
Sam and Frodo in Mordor.
I defer to Kiki. I don't know anything about traps.
So this is sheer walls.
I don't even say anything. I just kind of go.
Yeah, think
Your table, madam.
No?
think Minas Tirith, David, as the hill fort, and the walls are like the walls of Minas Tirith, but radiating outward.
Okay.
I don't know that reference.
They're really high, Amy, and they're sheer and they're well maintained.
There's no secret steps going up.
No, that would be Helm's Deep. That's a different fort altogether. And if I was trying to invoke that fort, I would have said Helm's Deep. Okay.
No, I was thinking
Yeah, do we want to go up and around, or what do we want to do?
You get the sense that there is no up and around. That this place was built to guard against incursions from the Dreadlands. And you can tell that you have already caught the attention of the people on the walls.
What's up?
Hello.
I just walk towards the center.
Okay. And a group of cavalry on sturches ride out and surround you. And their leader says, "No one walks out of the Dreadlands. Who are you?"
We are the ones who walk out of the Dreadlands. But seriously, there's an army of undead marching our way.
What he said.
That's not what I was gonna do, but okay.
I thought you were gonna like try to charm with the sturches, take out some
And
Gashel greens and.
The sturches, the sturch riders start trying to ferry you towards the fort.
Yeah, let's go. I'm tired.
I want to ride one.
They will not let you.
I want to ride one.
Do you have any of those mushrooms?
I'm gonna try to be like Varuk Assault's father and just try to like bribe one of them to just. Can you please take my daughter up on your sturge?
They're actually keeping fairly they're a ring around you guys, and they're keeping their distance. Like you get the sense that they're within striking range with their spears, but they're trying to stay out of your reach.
What kind of operation you got going here? What kind of guy doesn't let a little daughter ride up on your sturge?
The kind where the daughter may be in the service of an elemental evil.
Do you have any of those mushrooms?
I'm having a fit, man. Okay.
First, we will evaluate if you are indeed clear of the corruption.
I rub my bracers together, like try to pretend like I'm gonna do something with it, like threatening. Like, yeah.
Like doing the whole villain thing. Just...
Like rubbing it, going, I'm gonna do a thing. Tell me I can't fucking write it.
I'm gonna drench that bird.
What's happening?
He's trying to see how to deal with you.
You're gonna get a spear in the back.
Just want to ride a goddamn chocobo.
You all want to ride chocobos. You get your time. I'll whisper that to her. How about that? When we get to the fort, I'll buy you a chocobo.
What's your total HP, Kiki?
29?
Okay. 6. All 9 of them, or 9 of them go to stab you with spears. 6 of them hit.
Jesus Christ!
And knock you unconscious.
I think at this point I would just unleash fury out of my wind bracelet and just do the whole Aang airbender thing and enough!
Okay, roll me an an intelligence, or what's you have charisma as your highest?
Yeah.
Roll me a charisma.
19.
Okay, you pull the airbender bit, and
it wasn't supposed to be. I mean, it's air. It's just supposed to push him back. It's like enough kind of thing. Like no means no.
You're getting stabbed too.
The commander groks your intention, and he says that they could have killed her there. They knocked her out. They're going to assess whether you guys have been tainted by the corruption, and if you're not, then they'll gladly hear what you have to say and will accept your help without reservation. But they need to make sure that you're not carrying the corruption, and any hostile actions on your part is going to be met with extreme force, with the assumption that you're trying to spread the corruption.
I don't know what he's trying to say, so I give him the whatever look, and I picked up Kiki.
You just walked through 4 days worth of the corruption.
I know that, but dude, do I seem like I'm trying to give you an STD? I don't understand what you're trying to do here. I'm not trying to spread the HIV among your townsfolk.
So they take you into custody, and you're essentially in quarantine, and that's where we'll pick up next time.
Oh.
So thanks for playing, and folks listening, thanks for listening. Until next time, keep it chaotic.
Bye.
See y'all.